Peace, everybody. What's going on? How's everyone doing in their late fall, early winter vibrations? So I've just been super inspired. I've been working with people one-on-one in a new container that I call the Story Dose, and it's a nice, gentle experience, before going to the full-length Story as Medicine course, where I work with people for 3 to 6 months, and that has also been really, really juicy. And I've been thinking about, just different ways to share some of the tools that I've been using in supporting myself and other people in shifting out of old versions of ourselves and really being able to anchor in new, improved software updates of ourselves, right? And for the past couple of years, I've been working through something that I created called the Lunar Journal that I also incorporate with some of my clients when we're working together. And, as I've been speaking to people about the Lunar Journal in person, and it's gotten me to really reflect more on how much it has shifted my own world, and in this lunar cycle specifically, it has been very, very supportive as I have been, moving through a particular pattern that has been very difficult over the years to move through, right? And the thing is, when we have old patterns that we practiced multiple times throughout our lives, it feels like it is us, and we feel like there's no way that we can step out of it. It feels like, we're never going to change and all these things. But of course, that is not the case, right? When we are very intentional with how we want to shift our realities, when we're really intentional with making just putting out the field of momentum into the mix of our reality, it starts to put in motion what it is that we want to change. Now, the thing is, and I'm sure we all have experienced this, we put it out, and sometimes we feel like a block, right? Or we feel like there's some resistance that's happening. And then we're like, shit, I feel like I'm gonna stop. And that's actually the moment when we're supposed to be pushing through, right? And it's so interesting because when we go through a moon cycle, especially when we're coming from the new moon and moving towards the full, which the full moon is coming up soon on Thursday, there's going to be oftentimes a space where it feels like we're hitting resistance, we're hitting a block, right? We might feel tired, we might feel like we're receding back into more lazier patterns, or we start to overthink something, right? We start to doubt. But that is just really, it's almost like, I don't want to say a test, but it is a test in a way to be like, how committed are you to what you said you wanted? How committed are you, right, to making the change? How much do you have faith in yourself that you can change your situation, right? And what's so beautiful about the Lunar Journal is that it really is about the subconscious mind, because the moon actually rules the subconscious mind. It is our internal, deep, hidden aspects of ourselves that might not be seen by other people, and sometimes might not even be seen by us. But when we illuminate that attention on our subconscious mind, that's when we start to see more clearly what is the software, right, that is underneath the hood that is operating our entire system. And where do we need software updates, right, to change our system so that we are able to operate in something that is more sustainable and governing our lives in conjunction with where we are going. So it was so essential about being able to pay attention to the patterns, and when we are aligning ourselves with a natural rhythm, right? When we're aligning ourselves with a natural rhythm such as the moon, it really supports us in being able to become aware of how things are shifting, both internally and externally. In neuroscience, they talk about the reticular activator, which is a part of, or the reticular activation system, which is a part of our system that when we say, for example, you know, maybe we want a new car, or we want a car, maybe it's our first car, whatever car, okay? And we say, okay, well, I really would like a white Jeep Wrangler, right? You make that, you say that that's your desire, and all of a sudden, maybe a day later, you're seeing white Jeep Wranglers all over the place, right? That is your reticular activator system being triggered and showing you what it is that you said that you want. Now, that's just one example, right? Another example, something that Tony Robbins would say is like, okay, in your room right now, or wherever you are right now, look for things that are red. Oh my gosh, red. And it's like your eyes are automatically going to the things that are red in your room, right? Now let's take it in the space of our desires, or something that we want to manifest. And it could be something individually, it could be something also, I'm going to say, for the collective, right? And we're specifically talking about positive things, right? Our minds are also going to look for those things. Now, when we're in worry, we're also going to be looking for those things, and our reticular activator system is going to be like highly in that space of looking for the things that are going wrong, right? But a part of what we need in order to shift our realities, or to shift an aspect of ourselves, is to train ourselves to look for the things that are in alignment with what it is that we want. And the lunar journal is just like this beautiful way for us to prime our subconscious mind to really get into a space where it's able to pay attention to and attract the things that we want. Because this is the thing, right? Is that when I am going through my lunar journal and I've made my cycle's intention, and the cycle's intention is for this lunar cycle, and sometimes it's the same intention that I'm doing for multiple cycles, this is what I'm activating. So for me, for example, I'm activating my ancestral intelligence, anchoring in my ancestral intelligence, okay? That's a part of my current cycle's intention. And it's remarkable how much I'm receiving in that. I, for example, just received these beautiful records of my ancestors from like the 1820s, 1830s, okay? Seeing with my own eyes their writing, it's amazing, right? So that's just one example, or multiple examples of how this works, right? And it's, for some people, they feel like, oh, I don't want to commit to every day. Oh my gosh, it feels too much pressure. This is the thing. Like, maybe for some people, and even for myself, sometimes I miss a day or two, and then I'll catch up maybe on a Sunday, and I'll take that time, I'll set myself up, and I'll journal throughout what I missed. And even still, I am able to track, oh wow, like this is how things are shifting. Because sometimes we need something to remind us how much things are changing, even if they're subtle, right? I'm not saying small, subtle, because subtle is very potent and very powerful. So I also want to talk about, if you're interested, right? Definitely check out the Lunar Journal. So this is a physical copy right now. I have a digital copy that is online that is available for purchase. And I actually extended it. So it's going to be the early kind of winter space. So whether you receive it now and you start where you are now, which is completely fine, or you want to wait until the next lunar phase, it will come up for you and you'll be able to use it, no problem. Today is technically, we're approaching the full moon, and it's day 13. And I want to offer you what day 13's question is. Okay, this is the question. I love this question. This is so juicy. Within your internal reality, what personal transformation do you feel is occurring for you? What is becoming easier to believe is possible for you? Okay, that's the question for today. All right. And we just went through a waxing Gibbous, we're in waxing Gibbous moon, meaning that things are building, things are really just kind of growing, expanding, bubbling. Again, we might be feeling like this resistance, but sometimes that resistance is just the fact that our nervous system is increasing its capacity to hold what it is that we're calling in. And sometimes if we're not doing that other work, which the 4 pillars does a really good job of, the 4 pillars being, you're choosing words that that trigger frequencies within you, right? That you feel like you are more expansive, you feel like you're more anchored, you feel like you're more grounded, and it's taking you out of that old software, right? We're updating. So we gotta continue to feel ourselves updating into that space, right? And when we're doing that, that will help to increase our nervous system capacity to actually hold what it is that we're calling through, and also then push through the resistance that we have, okay? Over the weekend, we had a waxing moon in Aries. So we might have been looking at or feeling, and this is the thing, Aries is impulsive, but it is also really good at being very focused at what it is that it wants to receive and what action it needs to take. So maybe there was an action that you took over the weekend that felt very, that you didn't overthink it, you just did it, right? Or you know that there was an action that you needed to take this week, and you know you just need to do it. But now we're in the waxing Gibbous moon in Taurus, and Taurus loves beauty, Taurus loves luxury, Taurus loves rest, Taurus loves taking things slow, but also Taurus likes security, safety, and financial flow. So this is a really beautiful time in this next couple of days to just anchor in what is going to give you an added layer and level of luxury, an added layer of feeling connected to your self-worth that may or may not be tied to fiat currency, right? But it could also be something where you're getting really clear about what is going to add value to your life and how you're going to provide yourself that value, okay? The full moon in Gemini is going to be buzzy because Gemini loves variety. It loves twiddling and daddling and moving really quickly between different ideas and potentially even different conversations, different people. Gemini loves to go and turn things from all angles and see things from all points of view. It's kind of like, when it's hyper, it's like a Kanye West. Okay, Kanye West is going to say what he wants to say, how he wants to say it, and he doesn't care how other people are going to say it or think it or feel it or receive it, right? But with the full moon in Gemini, what message I feel is coming up that's going to be really good for all of us, and especially for those who have heavy Gemini placements, which I have quite a bit of Gemini in my chart, is that in the different spaces or subjects or projects that you have going on, right? What do you want? How do you want them to continue to grow? And again, remember, this subconscious mind really loves visualization. It really loves being able to feel into what it is that you're growing, right? It's the water. It's the water on your plants that are going to make sure that they're nourished, right? It's the sunlight that is going to, activate the process of photosynthesis, right? And is just like in those different spaces that you feel like you are being nourished by and that you enjoy nourishing. What and how do you want to see them grow? Right? How do you want to see them grow? And if there's anything that feels like it's not really giving you joy, and of course, there are going to be some things that we have to do because we have to be responsible. But if there's anything that really you feel is dragging you down, and that could also, be a situation, that could be a relationship, that could be whatever, begin to think about how you can actually either shift your perspective, because remember, Gemini is Mercury power. Like Sailor Mercury is your Gemini, okay? How could you shift your perspective of something that then will allow more flow to go? Or if really it is something where you have to begin to pull your energy away so that you're able to refocus it, right? So that you can refocus it on the things that are bringing you joy and feeling reciprocal and nourishing. That's what I'm going to say is going to be one of the things to kind of look at when we approach the full moon that is coming in on Thursday. Y'all, it's been so good. I want to keep these videos short and brief. But I also want to say that if you are interested in learning more about how I support people, check the links in my description and the links below. And you will find information about my the story dose, which is a 1 or 2 session within a month journey. And I use improvisational story techniques where we are able to build the capacity once again to just start to shake up some of the stagnation or shake up some of the fear and just put it to the side, and give ourselves the space to play again, to be connected to our inner child, and to allow ourselves to just be. Just be. And if you're interested in purchasing the Lunar Journal, that link is also in the description notes. I'm so excited to hear about how things are shifting for you as you're moving through through this process. And if there's anything that you feel like, hey, I would love if you could talk about this, or I want to maybe understand more about this aspect, do you mind doing that? DM me. I would love to hear that. I'm sending you lots of love throughout your week, and we'll talk soon.